Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading, your monthly reading for April 2023. And this is for Virgo sun or rising signs. So Virgo sun or rising, it's the collective reading. If you want something that's specific to you, honestly, best bet is to get a reading, and the link for that is down below. I'm feeling this card. So we're going to go ahead and keep with the style that I've been doing the last couple of months. I got good feedback and it's still just feeling really good to me. So until I feel like the nudge to change it, this is what we're going with. Let's see, what other deck do I want to use for my Virgos? I'm sorry, I'm feeling torn between these like two decks. I'm doing it. So this is the one that I originally got the hit on, so we're gonna do this. And some of you will really love this. This is my it makes me smile deck. All right, so let's take a look at the progression of the month for my Virgos. How is the month progressing for first, third, middle, and end? So interesting. All right, let's check that out. I'm feeling this card here as well. Look at all those pentacles that you've got going on. Okay, interesting. And then let's take a look at the challenge card, which I'm not feeling like I want to use that one for the challenge card. I'm feeling this deck for pulling the challenge card. What's coming up for you? There we go. More pentacles. More pentacles. And then what spiritual advice do we have coming through for you, Virgo? So, I almost had it. I felt like it was almost there. Okay. Challenge card for my Virgos for the month of April. Here. There we go. Or I'm sorry, not challenge card. Now I feel like I need to pick another card. You guys bear with me. I was like stuck on I was looking at the challenge card. What spiritual advice? What spiritual advice do we have for the Virgos? You guys will have to forgive me. That is taking me a little bit longer to get to your spiritual advice card. We are definitely going to keep these because I felt it. Okay, so let's actually move these so that we can have them all in frame for you, Virgo, since we have 3 cards coming up for your spiritual advice. I think that we can move that a little bit further up so that we can fit them all in. Yeah. Do you love my bunny deck? Are you totally about stoked as much as I am about my bunny deck? I can't help smiling whenever I see this deck. It totally makes me laugh. I'm in love with it. It's adorable. Okay, Virgo. So in order to help focus the reading, because it's a collective reading, the reason that we start out with this particular card in this position is to give us a sense of what area of life or what themes of life is this being applied to, so that we can kind of just help. Even though it's a collective reading, and obviously it's not going to hit for every single Virgo sun or rising sign, this I feel like is helping bring some clarity to the reading. So we're gonna keep with it. So what do we have showing up here? We have Libra. Libra. So talk about connection and connecting with people. Relationships can come up in this. I mean, it is Venus ruled, and also having to do with harmony and balance in your life, wanting to feel that sense of harmony and balance. And this could, the first thing I saw, looked at or thought, I'm sorry, when I saw this card come out was, relationships. I wonder if some of this has to do with relationship dynamics for some of you, or that relationships are a part of what is coming up for you in this particular month in April. I mean, first of all, we just went through a lot last month. So, so maybe this is about connecting and feeling like you're in connection with people that feel aligned and harmonious and balanced for you in your life. Not only that, but this is also, about fairness, as well. So it's about relating, it's about fairness, it's about beauty, it's definitely about the world of the aesthetic and what feels good. This is the other constellation that's ruled by Venus. And so it has that Venusian kind of quality to it And so that's helping us to bring some focus for the reading. Now, as we look at how the month is unfolding, I just see like so many different pentacles showing up. Definitely really loving the spiritual advice. So let's get into it one at a time. So here we have the King of Pentacles, and I'm just gonna try really hard not to laugh throughout this entire thing. Sorry, they're just too cute. So the King of Pentacles, showing up and in the first third of the month. And then we also have the Nine of Pentacles showing up in the Hierophant. So with the King of Pentacles, I'm just going to say, like, I think that there are some things that for some of you in a very grounded way, right? Because we are talking pentacles and it has to do with the world of the tangible. I think that this has to do with like, what is it that when it comes to what you're building, what you're creating, right? Because it's the world of, like the kingdom, the king is ruling over the kingdom. When it comes to what you're creating and what you're valuing in this world, I think that this is the theme that's up for your life. Where do you live? What are you creating? What kind of environment are you creating? How do your finances look? Are you feeling like you've got all your ducks in a row? Does it feel like everything is coming together financially on the financial front? What is it that you value? Are you building your world, your kingdom, right? Are you building this based on like what you actually value? And just getting a sense of grounding in your world, like kind of needing to have this sense of grounding in your world. But also probably for some of you starting to feel like, it's like basically when I see the King of Pentacles, I'm like, wow, that's someone who's on top of their shit, or that you're wanting to feel like that. And you need to examine where in your life can you create that vibe. I'm feeling like it's value-based. I'm feeling like it's about what you're creating. Mainly because of the coming into the middle of the month, and we have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is just this really beautiful card about our, knowing our self-worth, knowing our self-value, like knowing our value and our worth in this world, and going through the world with our shoulders back and down and our head held high and feeling really like, yeah, I've got it. I've got my shit together. I've got myself together. I've got me, I've got me. And I'm not going to settle for less than what is, what matches my value, what matches how I perceive myself and my worth. I definitely think that there is like towards the end of the month, it's like there's a theme of coming into a sense of like there's something that I feel like is studious for some of you. Although that isn't the only interpretation for this card, I think that some of you are going into a place of study, or that the topic of study or what you're studying feels like it's coming forth. This can be going to the people that we see in our lives as like the wise counsel, right? The wise people in our life are our teachers, are, I don't like to use the word guru, but it is kind of associated with this card, right? It's like, who do we go to in like our higher learning? To get sagacious, counsel from people. So I think this is partially like for some of you who are in that space, who are doing some learning, I think this is going to be brought up in your world. But then for the rest of you, I think that this is going to be an examination of the structures that are in your life currently, and which ones are the ones that match your values, that match what you're trying to create, and which ones don't, also, the other thing that's cool about the Hierophant, and this is also about, deciding that you don't need to be a part of the way that society says it needs to be done, right? This can be sometimes just deciding like, I'm going to do it differently. I'm not going to use the rules, the invisible book of unwritten rules that society as a whole, we all agree to. I'm going to think outside the box and do it kind of differently. And perhaps your studies, or perhaps like the people that you go to for counsel and that you talk to on a regular basis, are the people that will help you in clarifying that. But definitely I feel like there's like, what are you building? What are you creating? What are you valuing? Like these are big these are big things that are themes that are here in the month of April for you. So, and then we have like your challenge card, and we have more pentacles, right? So we have the Knight of Pentacles, and I think that, when the Knight of Pentacles is in a stuck position, or in a challenging position, I feel like this is talking about feeling like some sense of like stuckness, or things are not going as quickly, as fast as you would like them to go. The Knight of Pentacles can feel like a little stuck in the mud, like there's inertia, right? Like first of all of the Knights, all of the Knights are about action, but the Knight of Pentacles, I would say, is the one who is, well, you could say the slowest, but just like more methodical, more strategic, more pragmatic about how he's going to move forward, what moves forward he's going to take. So like he thinks about those things before he makes that step, right? So there is this kind of like, when it moves into a challenge, it's feeling like more of that, it's too slow. It's like things aren't going as quickly as I want them to go. With regard to finances, like resources, and also it's like the things that matter most to you. So just feeling like there are things like that you're wanting to create, that you're wanting to make happen, and feeling like it's just not going as quickly as you want it to go, and there's maybe a little bit of strain around that. I definitely can see how the Libra, like the balance and harmony and what was the other word I was going to say? I just lost it. But like balance and harmony and what feels fair, right? Like what feels like a place of equanimity in yourself and in your life and in the people that you connect with. I feel like that's coming through. Like I feel like that's part of what's coloring all of this and what you're considering. Definitely when it comes to your spiritual advice, I think that you're being asked to really step into your intuition, trust your gut, and be in your intuition. Don't allow your mind to do all of the thinking for you. Not that it's not there to do any, but when you're making decisions about what it is that you want to do, you need to really step into your intuition and in a very aligned place in order for things to become unstuck, for there to be some more movement, for things to start to really like pick up momentum. And the reason that I say that is because we have the High Priestess showing up along with the Two of Swords. So let's just talk about the two of these together, the High Priestess and the Two of Swords together. So when we're looking at these two cards together, we're talking about intuition. The Two of Swords, like, it's probably one of the most watery cards of the swords. Not the most, maybe it is, but it's definitely a very watery card inside of the swords. It's basically like, you're trying to decide between different options, different paths, whether that is, like with regard to what you're studying or where you're going to live or with people or with, whatever options there are that are on the table, whatever path you're choosing. So there are things that are very mental to think about. And, we think about as a Virgo, Virgos are ruled by Mercury, right? It's the planet that is like details and data and facts and, fast moving mind and very much like mind and talking and communication and processing and like all the different things. And like, there is a point where you need to actually, get into your intuition. We have the moon showing up and surrounded by water, but also when if you've ever been blindfolded in your life and noticed how it turns up your other senses, right? You have to depend on not just your like physical senses, but your other senses, like how you perceive. And it puts you into a different state of being, and that space is your intuition. And so I believe that this is a time where you need to really like step into your intuition and not allow your mind to do all of the processing for you, right? Not to say none, but not all of it. You have that paired with the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is here like, hey, I need you to trust your gut. Like, I need you to trust your intuition. You're able to hold like both and not one or the other. She sits between the two pillars representing, we could say, yin and yang energy, just like the masculine and feminine, like however you want to put it, right? But just holding the polarities of life and energy, and sits right in between this, right? And she sits in between this with the moon behind her, surrounded by water. Again, a very intuitive card, very much in the emotion, and specifically like for any of you who are like woman-bodied, I would say get into your womb and like tap into your heart and your womb. For those of you who don't have a womb, tap into like your heart space, tap into your gut, tap into your intuition. This is a time to really be inside of that and to trust that. And in order to do that, what the High Priestess says is you need to find time to be quiet, to quiet the mind, to quiet the emotions, to be in a space of solace, to be in a place that feels like sanctuary, however you create that meditation, like going on a walk in nature, however you create the spaciousness and the openness for these messages to come through, that's what you need to actually be doing here. And getting like into that space will also help you with getting aligned. Like this is where you need to bring online all of your like your cosmic connection with your intuition, with your voice, with your heart, with your will, with your all of yourself, right? To get completely and fully aligned so that you can move in the direction that is the most powerful path for you, so that you can move with authority that comes from an inner authority, and that comes from getting into these places that are here. So I'm not surprised at this like trifecta of energy that's happening here, and I feel like this is really relevant. So definitely I would say if this is your sun sign, check out your rising sign if you kind of want to get more of a picture of things, or you can check out the last moon readings that I did, that they're up on the channel. After this comes out in about another weekish, after like a few days after, I'll have the next moon readings out as well. But the last ones that I did were actually longer moon readings. They had a lot more information. So, and definitely if you want to know specifically what it is for you, if this is resonating and you want to really like go deeper and get specific, which is what I like to do with my personal readings, you can book a personal reading. The information's down below to book a 30, 60, or 90-minute reading. So hopefully this feels helpful for you and feels clarifying, gives you some sense of like information, messages, or direction. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for being here. Bye.